Hi, I am back again. Now then, today I'm going to be showing you how to make some of these labels here that I put into my scrunchies. Okay, there we go. These are cotton labels printed with normal inkjet printers, okay, and you end up with something like that, and you sew along there and that's what sticks out. So there we go. Now, to do these labels, you are going to need some cotton. Now, I purchased this bolt of cotton from Amazon, £45 for 10 meters. Now that's good. That's a good price. It's lovely cotton as well, and it's white. You don't have to have white. You can have any colour you want. But bear in mind, if you have a darker fabric, then you need to buy the correct paper for dark fabric, alright? This here is for white cotton. You can do it onto, you can print this onto any light t-shirts really, and say t-shirts, any light cotton, alright? Also satin ribbon if you want to. Prefer to do that. Now this is, make sure you get the one for the inkjet printer as well, okay. I'll try and remember to put the link down for this in down below, okay. And this here costs, I think it's about £7 for 20 sheets, but I might be wrong. I'm pretty sure it was £7 for 20 sheets, possibly. So this, you'll need some of this paper here, alright. Transfer paper for inkjets. Alright, so that's that. And a heat press or a hot iron. But if you're doing it with an iron, you must be careful with how you move the iron onto the fabric. Alright, and that is it. Okay, with this paper, you get a couple of this greaseproof sheets in there. Alright, it's like a waxy sheet, and that there is what you use to set afterwards. Once you've printed onto this, once you've set it onto your fabric, then you quickly go over it with this, and I'll show you how to do that now. Alright, so let's get on with the job ahead. See you in a minute. Okay, now then, what I have done, I shall show you what I've done, because I've run out of paper now because I've printed it already onto this. What you need to do is firstly design your label. Now I use Cricut Design Space, which is not ideal really because you're wasting a lot of this good paper, okay. Ideally Word, or I'm going to try on Procreate, and I'm also going to try it on what's another one, because I tried Pages and I couldn't get on with that, but I'm going to try it on Procreate, alright, see if I can get more in. And then you can these here are basically let me just, I want to make sure I get it exactly right so you know what you are looking at. Measurements and everything. Okay, so we got these here are I tried to make them 2 centimeters by 2 centimeters, okay, so the actual fonts are 2 centimeters by 2 centimeters, and you've got a bit of a gap there for folding. All right, then you want to, when you cut and copy each, you'll design your design first, then you can cut and copy each one, duplicate it, okay, and then you leave a gap, and approximately it's about 5 centimeters. Let me just check. Yeah, as long as they're 5 centimeters, as long as you've got like a 5 centimeter allowance there. I'll just check with you on these that I've cut out. They're cut out at about 4.5 centimeters, alright. But you want, like I say, it's about 5 centimeters by 2 centimeters that way, alright, and then put your design in the center. You'll have to flip it either way. Now when you go to print it off, you also have to flip it as well. When you're designing it, you will basically, if you, it depends what you want, you might want it just on one side. Just I've done it like this because I want it on both sides, so when you fold it you can see it both sides. Okay, so when you do that, obviously the top or the other side's got to be flipped around as well. You'll work that out. It's not difficult. So you'll get all your design up on a sheet like this and have them equally spaced, so that when you go to print, what we're going to do now is we've printed it, we've flipped the design, printed it, because we need to flip, because when we place it down onto our fabric, it's going to come out the right way then. If you don't flip it, it's all going to come out backwards. It's going to actually look like this on your fabric. Now, I'm going to pop my heat press on and I'm going to heat that up to 320. Now I need to change it because it's set at 240 at the minute for my t-shirts. I'm going to set it up to 320. Get there in a minute. Right, okay. And 15 seconds on the clock, alright? So there we go. Right, that's going to heat up now. Okay. If you're doing it with an iron, you need a hot iron, a very hot iron, okay? So, we've got our paper. We've got our design printed onto this paper. Okay, now I'm going to cut this paper. I'm going to get my, I'm going to use a Stanley crafting knife and a ruler to do mine. You can use scissors or a guillotine or whatever, and I'm going to cut this black line off. I don't know how much you can see there. Let me just see if I can zoom it in a bit. Why isn't it zooming in? It usually makes a sound when I zoom in. Right, okay. So I'm going to cut this now, cut this black line off because I don't want that printing onto my fabric. Make sure I've only got one sheet there. You can make sure you print on the right side as well. Usually they show you which side that you should be printing on. Sometimes it's very difficult, it depends what brand you buy. So I'm going to cut all this off. Okay, ensuring there's no black bits left on there, because it will transfer otherwise. So we've got our little sheet there. Now with this I'm going to cut down in strips now. Okay, so equal amounts just down the centre there, either side. It's one. Two. Like I say, I think if you design it in a different program other than me doing it in Cricut Design Space, you'll get a lot more on your sheet. There won't be so much wastage. I did it because I was just having problems with pages and thinking about it. I can do it on Procreate, but it's done now anyway. So that's that. There we go. We have our strips of labels, okay, printed. All right. Now we're going to cut some fabric. So to do this, you are going to need, you want about, let me just check, you do want about 5 centimetres width-wise, so you've got room to fold. Yeah, so we're going to cut it in 5 centimetre strips, alright. I'll get my big quilting ruler and my rotary blade. So right, we're going to go 5 centimetres, okay. Now I'm going to make sure, so we have 5 centimetres, which is there. So we're looking at that point there, right. Okay, just check. If we say 2 inches, then we can't go wrong, can we? So yeah, we'll go 2 inches. I've got my mat here, so I'm measuring it on my mat, so I get a straight cut. Okay, and then we're going to go 2 inches, which is approximately 5 centimetres. Okay, so we've got 1 strip there. That side there is a little bit rough, so I'm going to cut a piece off of there, tiny slither. Hopefully I won't mess it up, because the last time I cut it, it might have got a bit. There we go. So we have our strip of fabric. All right, now we're not going to need that whole strip like that. This is double folded as well, so I've actually got all of this here. So I'm going to cut this into strips big enough for this. All right, now we're going to go measure it with your piece of paper, basically, so you're not wasting anything. So and there, and there. Try to get it as straight as possible, which I haven't on that piece there, but never mind. There, so we've got approximately 4 pieces from that one cut. Alright, now that's enough for, how many have we got here? Strips, we've got 6, but I'm going to leave those 2. I'm just going to show you what I do. So there we go, we've got our 5 centimetres strip of fabric, now cut into 4 pieces. Alright, so now with these pieces we're going to fold them inwards like so. We want them so that this here, I don't like that to overlap on here, so because the stuff that comes off will overlap onto your the outer side of your fabric. So we're going to fold these in slightly. All right, there. To do this, I'm going to do it on my heat press. Now it's probably better to do it with an iron, because you can go along, move it along as you go, but I'm going to finger press one side down like so, and then the other side. You can have them meet in the middle, alright, or slightly apart. Then I'm going to just flip it over there that way so that it holds in place. And then I am going to pop my press down. This is just to press it first of all, alright? So I'm going to press that so that it presses the seams. That should be enough. There we go. So you end up with that, alright? So you've got a strip like that, folded that way, alright? Then we're going to get... And we're going to do that. We're going to do that for all 4 pieces, all right? So I'm going to just quickly do that for this one and the next one and the next one. Let's just move that out of the way. I don't want that getting burnt. Just hope my battery holds out while I'm doing this. Right, now I have slightly trimmed these a little bit on the sides, okay, so that they fit nicely on these strips, okay, so they don't hang over. I prefer them not to hang over, because you've just got to cut the excess off afterwards. So we're going to lie each one down on top of the fabric, face down. I'm going to pop it onto my heat press. Let me bring you around here so you can maybe see a bit easier. I'm going to pop each one onto my heat press carefully. You're going to lie your fabric down that way, so that way's lied on the bottom, and then you've got that bit on the top there. Then I'm going to lie a strip of these on each one, okay, equally. If you've got an iron, then you can do each one individually. And just be careful when you apply the iron not to move the iron too much as to move the design, because you don't want to be moving that. Now I've got 5 strips here, so I've set my heat press to 320 and 15 seconds, but I'm going to go slightly over 15 seconds because I've found that that works for me. So we're going to pop this in now, carefully over, and then there, and set it going. So we're going to wait for 15 seconds, then we're going to wait a little bit longer because I want to make sure that that ink has transferred onto the fabric. This is a great way to make your own labels at home. So now I've waited another 9, 8, 7. Right, another 10 seconds. Okay, so here we have our things. Now they're quite hot, alright, so I'm going to lay them down on here. And you can leave them and peel off when it's cooled, which will give it a glossy look, or you can peel them off now, which gives it a matte look. They are quite hot to touch. They do cool down pretty quickly, and then you'll grab the corner and hopefully, all being well, you peel off and you're left with your label, but it's still not finished. Alright, so I'm going to peel off this next one. Now that feels a little bit too sticky there. Sometimes when you go to peel, it feels like you're not peeling enough. It feels like it's hard to peel. If it's hard to peel, then put it under for a little bit longer, because it may be that it's not totally stuck to your fabric. Okay, and then you end up pulling half the design off with the paper, and it's no good then. Like that one's a little bit. I'll try up this end. If you find one end's not, but I think I've got my timings right now, so hopefully, yeah, that's come out all right as well. One more to do. I made a bulk of these the other day, so I didn't do the video, so I thought I would do the video. Some of you have asked, so there we go. Right, now we need to set them. Okay. So to do that, we lay each one down back onto our heat press. We lay each one back down on the heat press, and we've got a special sheet that comes with the pack of paper. Okay, I'm going to get that. Where are you? Here you are. Over here. And this here, if you're doing it with a heat press, only needs about 3 seconds. And this is reusable. Okay, so you lie that down onto your labels, and then press it for approximately 3 seconds. I'm going to leave it for 5. And that should be enough. Okay, then it will stick to that paper. Alright, then what you do then is you peel them off straight away. Okay, let's show you what I'm doing. There. This is what fixes it, okay, permanently to the fabric. So now we are left with our labels. Okay, I don't know if you can see that there. Alright, now what I'm going to do, I'm going to turn that heat press off because I don't need it on anymore. I'm going to get my fabric scissors, and I'm going to cut these how I want them. So obviously I've allowed enough gap between the two there, so I'm going to cut them right in the centre there. Okay, I'm going to cut that little bit of excess off there because we don't need that top bit, and do that. There we go, so you're left with that. Then you will basically just fold it over like that and sew it. Not very good. Come on, zoom in. Focus. There we go. There we go. And that's it. That's all you have to do. And that will get sewed into your, or sewn into your, whatever you want to sew it into. And there we go. So, I'll just quickly do all these. Well, we won't do it quickly, we don't want to rush it, there's no rush. And that is it. And we have a bulk load of name tags. Like I say, you can do it with an iron, a very hot iron, but you have to be careful of movement. You want to hold it as still, you know, and move it as slowly as possible when you do have to move it along a bit. So I'm trying to get these as equal as I possibly can. Nearly there. Ooh. There we have it. I've just made about 20 labels of my own. Okay. I'm going to pop those in the box with my other labels, and that's it. Right, where are they? That's how you make cotton labels yourself. So there we go. Handmade labels at home, and they're pretty. They look pretty professional, I think. So once you fold them over, and then you can just sew them in your whatever you're making. So there we go. Well, I hope you found this video useful. Please check out any other videos that I have showing you how to do different things. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. That would be great. So please subscribe and hit the notification bell for reminders of future videos. And I'll be back with more tutorials like this, and embroidery, whatever, sewing, anything. Alright, gonna go. Bye. Bye for now. Thanks for watching. Goodbye. Bye. 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 Bye.